Never worked with SQL before? Don't worry. Learn SQL from the absolute basics to advanced interview concepts in just 15 minutes.
Imagine standing in a massive, cavernous warehouse. From floor to ceiling, the room is filled with billions of loose paper documents, blowing around wildly. Somewhere in that chaotic mess is a single grocery receipt from exactly 5 years ago, and you need to find it right now. You could spend several lifetimes digging through those piles and never uncover it. Without a structured filing system, a human being simply cannot process that volume of material manually. Millions of documents are worthless if you cannot read the specific one you need. Raw data without organization isn't helpful information. It is just an overwhelming, useless mess. Imagine an infinitely large, meticulously organized digital library. Every piece of information has a specific place on a perfectly aligned shelf. This is a database. Because this digital library stretches on to the horizon, you cannot walk the aisles yourself. Instead, you have to ask the head librarian to fetch your data for you. This librarian is incredibly fast and never makes a mistake, but they only understand one highly specific, rigid language, SQL. This image shows lines of SQL code. With its specific rules for how words are arranged and its bright red formatting, this language can easily look like an intimidating wall of jargon to an outsider. But look a little closer at the actual words being used. Behind the scary formatting, SQL is actually just structured, everyday English. You don't need a computer science degree or a background in programming to use it. You just need to learn how to ask the librarian a polite, clear question. Let's place a request with our librarian right now. We do this by building a single sentence, one command at a time. We start with select, telling the librarian which details to look at, like a book's title and author. Next, we add from, pointing the librarian to the specific section or table to search in. Here, we use the books table. Cautionary. But if we stop our request here, we have a problem. The librarian will dutifully do exactly what we asked and bring us every single book in that entire section. Asking a database for everything is a terrible idea. Having thousands of books dumped on your desk is as useless as having nothing at all. To fix this, we need to aggressively narrow down our search, so the librarian only brings back the exact handful of records we need. We introduce a third command, where. This critical filter sets strict conditions for our request, like where the year is 2024. Looking at the fully assembled sentence, we have select title and author from books, where the year is 2024. Warmly, you have just written a real line of code. Notice how, when read sequentially, it flows almost identically to a standard English sentence. Coding in SQL is not about solving complex algorithms. It is simply about giving highly precise, logical instructions. If we step out of our imaginary library, we can see that this exact sentence structure powers the modern internet. When you click the comedy category, the app uses a sequel request to find your movies. Select title from movies where genre is comedy. When a doctor pulls up a critical medical history, the system uses the exact same language. Select history from patients where name matches. No matter how complex or critical a business is, the fundamental way they ask their database for information never changes. Every time you click a filter, use a search bar, or load a profile online, you're silently making a SQL request. When you step back and look at the language itself, you realize how accessible this technology actually is. SQL is simply a polite, structured way to ask a massive digital filing cabinet to hand you exactly what you need. You do not have to let technical jargon or the word code intimidate you away from learning more. Just remember, you are simply talking to the librarian. The true skill of SQL is the art of asking a perfectly organized question.
Great job finishing part 1. Keep watching part 2 to learn more SQL concepts, from beginner to expert. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's master SQL together.